I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Before we get started with the No House Step and Hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, that's when you click on that merchandise tab. Take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. Whether that is socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, makes no difference to the Renegades of Puck. Something like 88 different items in our online store, and the best way to say it is that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads, TikTok, and Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram. So please, whatever it is that's your preferred social media platform, jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck today. Give us a follow, give us a like, whatever it is to help us out. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it doesn't take you but a second, but it sure does go a long way to helping out this independent operation. YouTube, that is what we are pushing the hardest right now, and we sure are appreciative of all of our new subscribers to our YouTube channel. Just search Renegades of Puck, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notification buttons. You'll get the latest episodes of the podcast, plus all of our different playlists and breakdowns, recaps, previews, interviews, all of those different things right there on the Renegades of Puck YouTube page. Again, we are looking to bolster our numbers right there on YouTube, so be like our great friend Carlos over there in Memphis, like the YouTube channel, and leave us a comment from time to time, especially your opinions on what's going on with the series and the current game that we're talking about right now. Venmo, that is how you can help sponsor the show. You can make a financial donation to the show by just going to Venmo and searching out Renegades of Puck, or you can scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping this independent hockey operation, so if you can spare a dollar, please send it along, because we sure could use the assistance right now. Just bought a new run of t-shirts for the Renegades of Puck Hockey Club. We need to raise some beer money for the hockey team, the hockey team component of the show, and we need to do several other projects here as we're starting to get into the summer season to help ourselves ready for a potential next season of coverage here from the bunker. So that's how you can help us out on Venmo. Now listen, I know it's time for the No House 7 hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 908. That's right. At this moment, it is time for show number 908. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves down 2-1 in the best of 7 first-round series versus the Vancouver Canucks, falling in Game 3, 2-1 to the Vancouver Canucks at Bridgestone Arena. It was Besser getting the game-winning goal for the Canucks. So now we are previewing Game 4, which will take place on Sunday afternoon, later afternoon, at Bridgestone Arena, of course, versus the Vancouver Canucks. Game 5 will be necessary, will take place late Tuesday night in Vancouver, and then Game 6, if necessary, will be on May the 3rd versus Vancouver at Bridgestone Arena, and Game 7, if necessary, would be on May the 5th back in Vancouver. So we have a 2-1 series lead for the Vancouver Canucks, with Game 1 being a score of 4-1 in favor of Vancouver, Game 2 a score of 4-1 in favor of the Nashville Predators, and Game 3 a score of 2-1 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. Your game-winning goal for each game: Joshua for Vancouver, Forsberg for Nashville, and now Besser for the Vancouver Canucks. When it comes to the series and the numbers behind the series, through 3 games, the Nashville Predators are out shooting the Vancouver Canucks 68-51. When it comes to blocked shots, the Nashville Predators are out blocking the Vancouver Canucks 55-47. When it comes to hits, Vancouver has a decided advantage in this category through 3 games, 113 hits versus Nashville's 97. When it comes to the power play, this is where the Nashville Predators are really struggling in the series. Only 1 out of 13 through 3 games. The Vancouver Canucks 2 out of 9, but 2 really important conversions coming in the same game. The PK for the Predators faltering in Game 3, now 7 out of 9 for the series, but the Vancouver Canucks penalty kill continues to be strong, 12 out of 13 overall through 3 games. takeaways through 3 games. The Nashville Predators are at 15. The Vancouver Canucks are at 12. And giveaways, the Predators are at 18. The Vancouver Canucks are at 13. So the Nashville Predators are more reckless with the puck through 3 games. That is a certainty. When it comes to the individual statistics for both of these teams updated through 3 games, Philip Forsberg continues leading the Nashville Predators with a goal and 2 assists for 3 total points. Zucker also has a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Beauvillier has a goal and assist for 2 points. Nyquist, no goals and 2 assists for 2 points. And Luke Evangelista has a goal and no assists for 1 point. No Roman Josi, no Ryan O'Reilly on the top scorers list for this Nashville Predators team after they were in the top 5 for the entire season. Now, over on the Vancouver Canucks side of things with the individual statistics, Quinn Hughes takes over the team lead in points, and not a shock to see that he has 4 assists in the series through 3 games for 4 total points. He has been a dominant force out there and much more visible than Roman Josi on all facets of the game through 3 games. Joshua is at 2 goals and 1 assist for 3 points in the series. Miller, 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points in the series. And Besser, 1 and 1 for 2. And Zadorov, 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points in net. UC Saros through 3 games in the series, 1 and 2, a .880 save percentage, 2.03 goals against average. He's gone 44 out of 50 through 3 games and given up 6 goals against. DeSmith looks like he will carry the rest of the series as the knee injury to Thatcher Demko appears that he will miss at least the rest of this round, if not a significant portion of the NHL playoffs. DeSmith coming in relief for Thatcher Demko in this series. Looks like he'll remain in net the rest of the way. Has a record of 1-1 with a .911 save percentage now through 2 starts and a 2.02 goals against average. He's gone 41 out of 45 with 4 goals against. The Nashville Predators have given back home ice advantage to the Vancouver Canucks after somewhat of a lackluster performance on the home rink in Game 3. Will the Nashville Predators be able to rebound? I would expect everything from the pregame ceremony to the game ops itself, the crowd and the players, all to be at a different level. Something in Game 3 just was not quite right out there at Bridgestone Arena. We're going to get into a lot more of that. We'll talk about that in the analysis portion of things. So let's get to the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Let's go back and talk about what happened in Game 3, and then we'll give you some analysis, some opinion in the box score, the stats, and more, and we'll get you all set for Game 4 coming up at Bridgestone Arena on Sunday.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to April 26th, the year 2024, when the Nashville Predators were hosting the Vancouver Canucks in Game 3 of a first-round best-of-7 series. Series currently tied at 1-1 as we start Game 3. Head coach Andrew Brunette deploys his lines and defensive pairings in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist; Zucker, Sissons, and Beauvillier; Jankowski, Novak, and Evangelista; Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood. Your defensive pairings are McDonough and Josi, Luzon and Carey, Stastny, and Chen. UC Saros gets the start on home ice at Bridgestone Arena. It takes to 2:46 into the game for the first action to take place, and it's DeSmith coming up with a save on Jankowski. It's the first shot on goal of the game. He did give up a long rebound on this first touch. 3:51 of the first period. DeSmith comes up with a save on O'Reilly from the slot. At the 4:57 mark, we find our first penalty situation of the game as Joshua is called 5-minute major for boarding. It is reviewed. It is reduced to 2 minutes. And that power play for the Nashville Predators would yield 0 shots on goal. A strong, aggressive penalty kill by the Vancouver Canucks. At the 10:05 mark, just crossing over the middle of the first period, is DeSmith coming up with a save on Carrier, giving up another rebound here on this situation. We see Myers off to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking at the 10:07 mark, so right after the save on Carrier. DeSmith comes up with a save on Philip Forsberg, but again, that would be it for the Nashville Predators power play. Another missed opportunity here early in the first period. At 12:28 of the first period, though, it is McCarron off to the box. 2 minutes for goalie interference behind the net. No single justification for this penalty. There was no route at any point in McCarron trying to stop or avoid the hit. He went into him on purpose. He earned that penalty, and the Vancouver Canucks go on the power play, and their first shot on goal by Miller goes in through the heavy screen. The Vancouver Canucks break through and lead 1-0 here in Game 3 at Bridgestone Arena. At the 14:29 mark of the first period, it's McDonough off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking. This perhaps should have been a holding the stick on Vancouver, the old chicken wing play unfolding right here. McDonough, though, suffers the consequences. Saros comes up with a save on Miller. It's his first save of the game, coming at 14:29 of the first period. Saros thinks with another save on Miller at the 17:32 mark of the first period. Is Bluger off to the box. 2 minutes for putting the puck over the glass and into the crowd. Delay of game. DeSmith comes up with a save on Evangelista, but another strong and very aggressive, solid Vancouver penalty kill here stifles the Nashville Predators. We hit the end of the first period with the Vancouver Canucks leading 1-0, and the Nashville Predators out shooting Vancouver 5-3, each team with plenty of special teams opportunities. At the 27-second mark of the second period, we find DeSmith coming up with a save on McDonough. The action picking up quicker here to start the second period than it did to start the first period. 1:30 now of the second. It's DeSmith coming with the save on Sissons. The puck trickles through. It is cleared, not quite off the goal line, still a few inches from the goal line, perhaps not enough momentum to even get to the goal line, but still, puck in a dangerous area after trickling through, cleared away by Myers. 1:43 of the second period now. Saros, a save on Pettersson. An outstanding save right here, sliding across to the weak side post and coming up with the pad save at the 4-minute mark of the second period. It's Saros coming with a save on Myers. 4:16 now of the second period. It's Yossi off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. That's where we're going to find Besser getting his first goal of the series. It was a redirect at the top of the crease while he was absorbing a big hit. The classic go to the hard areas and take the hit to earn the play, and Besser does that right there, picking up his first goal of the series. Vancouver now leads 2-0 on 2 power play goals in the first 25 minutes of the game. 4:47 now into the second period. You see Saros coming with a save on Suter at 5:58 of the second period. It's DeSmith coming with a save on Shen. We see a scrum after the whistle right here at the 7:10 mark of the second period. Saros coming with a save on Mikheyev at the 7:57 mark of the second. It is DeSmith coming with a save on the captain, Roman Yossi. First time we've heard his name on the offense in this game. 13:08 now, several minutes there without any action happening, so we're crossed over the middle point of the game. It's DeSmith coming with a save on Forsberg, and then Luke Evangelista bringing the rebound jam, also saved by DeSmith up to this point in the game. DeSmith's best save sequence. 13:15 into the second period. It's Hughes and Evangelista off to the box. 2 minutes for roughing. This leads to a 4-on-4. Hard to believe that Evangelista and the Nashville Predators did not end up with a power play. I understand the 2-on-2 evening up there for the scrum that occurred along the wall, but to not have added the initial penalty as an extra 2 minutes, that's hard to understand right there. So we see a 4-on-4 situation, but at 14:19, we see Miller and Nyquist also off to the box, 2 minutes each, which will extend the 4-on-4 scenario. And again, this was a situation where Nyquist seemed like he was just trying to get to the bench to get a line change, could not get through the 2 Vancouver Canucks penalty, and ends up in the box. 15:54 now, the second period. It's DeSmith coming up with a save on Shen. 16:49, DeSmith coming with another save on Shen. 17:51 now in the second period. DeSmith comes up with a save on Carrier, and you see a pattern developing here over the final 5 minutes of the second period. The Predators are getting shots on goal, but they are coming from long range and distance, and they are frankly not much of a threat on DeSmith. 19:48 of the second period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Pettersson. We hit the end of the second period. The Vancouver Canucks have extended their lead to 2-0, and our Nashville Predators are out shooting Vancouver now for the game 16-9. So the Preds with 11 shots on goal in the second period are out shooting the Vancouver Canucks for the entirety of the game at this point, and they're starting to open up that margin by quite a bit at the 28-second mark of the third period. Into the clean sheet, the Nashville Predators looking to generate some momentum, and it is DeSmith coming with a save on the captain, Roman Yossi. At the 2-minute mark of the third period, it is DeSmith coming with a save on Colton Sissons. Then we find ourselves at 2:43, and it's DeSmith coming up with a save on Tommy Novak. at 3:34. Saros comes up with his first save of the third period. It is on JT Miller. Predators back to work on the offense immediately at 4:31 as DeSmith comes up with a save on the captain Roman Josi again, trying to assert himself here in the third period and lead the Predators on a comeback. The 8:40 mark, taking some time now between some action. The 8:40 mark now to the third period. Saros coming with a save on Miller's long shot. No real threat right here, but only the second time in the third period that UC Saros has touched the puck. The 9:07 mark of the third period. It is Bosser off the box. 2 minutes for tripping on Carrier in the offensive zone. Smith is going to come with a huge save on O'Reilly, and then Zadorov is going to play the puck over the glass into the crowd. That's going to be a 2-minute penalty for delay of game, leading to a 5-on-3 scenario for 21 seconds. O'Reilly, great job winning the face-off initially, making DeSmith come up with a huge save on O'Reilly while down and out. The Preds got the face-off, got control, got the Vancouver Canucks moving and scrambling, and O'Reilly had the look he wanted and could not beat DeSmith while he was down and out. Multiple missed shots by the Nashville Predators over the remainder of the 5-on-3 would lead to the Predators being unable to do anything with the remainder of their 5-on-4 as well afterwards. 12:01 in third period. DeSmith comes up with a save on Luke Evangelison's 14:45 mark of the third. DeSmith comes up with a save on O'Reilly's deflection. 14:49 of the third period. It is DeSmith coming with a save on the captain Roman Josi, and at 15:15 DeSmith another save, this time on Ryan O'Reilly. 16:48 out of the third period, the Predators finally break through. It is Luke Evangelista with his first goal of the series. It was a wrist shot with Colton Sissons setting the screen on the flyby. Some question as to whether this could have been some disruption to the goaltender's attempt to make the save, but no challenge here. So Evangelista's first goal of the playoffs makes it 2-1 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks with the extra attacker on. DeSmith comes up with a save on Philip Forsberg. DeSmith at 18:23 comes up with another save on Philip Forsberg. The Preds over the final minute and a half unable to get any pucks through on net. Pucks were being blocked, shots being blocked, and Vancouver did to the Nashville Predators in Game 3 what the Preds did to Vancouver in Game 2. They just reversed the roles in this one. The Vancouver Canucks win Game 3 by a score of 2-1. The Nashville Predators outshoot the Vancouver Canucks 31-12. So the Vancouver Canucks had 3 shots on goal in the first period. They had 6 shots on goal in the second period, and they had 3 shots on goal in the third period, but they score the 2-1 victory. They block a massive amount of shots. We'll have the final stats when we do the box score coming up here in a couple of minutes. But for the Nashville Predators, frankly, after the first 10 minutes of the game, the Vancouver Canucks out-competed them, outplayed them, and played a more desperate hockey game than the Nashville Predators did, protecting DeSmith, protecting the hard and dangerous areas. And the Predators unable to break through in this one. Kind of disappointing here. A lot of hype, a lot of excitement, a lot of emotion around Game 3 coming back to Bridgestone Arena, and the Nashville Predators unable to get it done. The Vancouver Canucks now have a 2-1 lead in the best of 7 series here in the first round, with Game 4 coming up at Bridgestone Arena on Sunday. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap, and that was a tough recap indeed right there. Let's get into the analysis, the opinion, the box score, and we'll close this thing out and get you all set for Game 4. UC Saros gets the start in this game as he's anticipated to get in each and every game in this series. 10 out of 12, he gave up 2 power play goals against. The first came from a heavy jump screen, and the second came from a redirect right on top of the blue paint. Good enough for the team in front of him to have secured a victory in this game, but ultimately he takes the loss. One of the lightest workloads in Nashville Predators playoff franchise history. Only 12 shots against, 8 even strength saves, 2 power play saves, and again, the only 2 goals that went in on UC Saros were both power play goals. He did have one 5-star save in this game that definitely kept the Nashville Predators in it and alive a whole lot longer. Luke Evangelista had a goal and 4 shots on goal, 16:43 in total time on ice. He had the only goal for the Nashville Predators. He battled hard in this game. He had the big scrum against Hughes along the end wall. It's unfortunate that he picked up a roughing penalty on that situation, but Luke Evangelista was working hard, going to the hard areas, and he ends up getting the Predators' only goal in this game. I hope that the Nashville Predators can find a way to get Luke Evangelista a little bit more offensive punch around him, because Evangelista, I think, has looked okay, but Tommy Novak and Mark Jankowski, frankly, have not really existed very much the last 2 games, and their ice time is certainly starting to reflect that, as the Nashville Predators went extremely heavy on the top line of the team for this game 3. Zucker picks up another assist, now 3 points in 3 games, also had 2 shots on goal. Remember, Zucker did not have the best trade deadline, post-trade deadline run with the Nashville Predators. Okay, but not that great. He's been much more noticeable since the playoffs started, and that's exactly why he was brought here. So 3 points in the series is tied for the team lead, and you know what? Fired up. You noticed him bringing the passion and bringing the jam and getting into some good chirping conversations out there on the rink. He was definitely fired up in this game, and you need to see a lot more of that from the Nashville Predators, but it was worth noting that Zucker, again, is now tied for the Nashville Predators through 3 games with 3 points for the team lead in scoring. Alex Carrier started this series off in quite possibly the worst way in Game 1, made dramatic improvements in Game 2, and I thought continued to look okay here in Game 3. Does pick up an assist, the only one of the defensemen to pick up a point in this game. He also had 2 shots on net, 18-13 in total time on ice. But again, for Alex Carey, started out the series a little bit under the weather and also underperforming out there on the rink, but has picked things up considerably since then, and is going to have to continue to do so, because the Nashville Predators, while we do not know the status of Stastny for Game 4, it did not look great when he left Game 3 injured and did not return, and I would expect that the Nashville Predators need to make a move defensively moving forward, whether that's as simple as plugging Fabro back in or perhaps giving an opportunity, since the Predators' special teams and power play are failing so badly. But Stastny going out of the lineup injured definitely is going to lead to Carrier and other Nashville Predators defensemen having to step up in Game 4 and possibly beyond. Now, let's talk about some real negatives. And none of none of those things were all that tremendously positive that we've talked about so far. Though there's just kind of straight analysis and not a lot of opinion on it so far. But I've got opinion on this. The Predators came out and had control. The crowd was into it, despite what a lot of people are saying at the start of the game. The crowd was fired up. They were ready to go. The Predators were dominant. They did not give up a shot on goal till after the midway point of the period, and it was the Michael McCarron decision. I'm not going to say the hit or the play. He made a decision when he went behind the net to run Casey DeSmith. That decision ended up changing the entire game. He received a minor 2 minutes for goalie interference, as was earned. You could have called it something else like stupidity, because that's exactly what it was. It was a terrible decision by a player who has been counted on to be reliable. He has been given the opportunity to start the game and each period for quite some time now for this Nashville Predators team, and this was an opportunity right here that he absolutely blew. This is what I expect from Tom Wilson. This is what I expect from Marchand on the Bruins. This is what I expected from a guy like Alex Burrows back in the day from these same Vancouver Canucks. Michael McCarron's decision to run to Smith did nothing for the Nashville Predators. It put them behind the 8 ball, gave up a power play goal against, and it rallied the Vancouver Canucks to be even more motivated and pissed off moving forward. You took a team that had their goaltender injured after Game 1, is down to their backup goaltender. The home crowd was chanting his name when he got the start, and even though he took the loss, he battled hard. Michael McCarron goes and runs the backup goaltender. All that did was motivate every every single player on the Vancouver Canucks. And the way the next 50 minutes played out in this game, you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because what the Nashville Predators were willing to do and sacrifice in Game 2 to get the victory, the Vancouver Canucks suddenly became that level of willing to sacrifice after Michael McCarron ran the goalie for absolutely no damn reason. No reason. It was one of the silliest penalties of the entire season, and it came when the Predators had control on home ice of Game 3. The Vancouver Canucks didn't even have a shot on goal till that penalty. And guess what? The Predators were never ahead again in this game. As a matter of fact, the Predators were pretty damn flat and pedestrian until the final minutes of the game. So Michael McCarron changed this game. His time on ice for this game, how he ends up getting more than other players after that hit, I don't understand. Michael McCarron screwed this one up for his teammates. His decision to run to Smith changed the game in a bad way. The other main storyline that's the easiest to pull out of this one is special teams, but it is the most obvious of all storylines because we said going into this series there was no way the Nashville Predators could win a special teams battle against the Vancouver Canucks, and they lost that special teams battle dramatically in this game. 2 power play goals for Vancouver. The Preds power play 0 for 5, including a 5-on-3 where they missed the net 3 times. 3 of the 4 shot opportunities by the Predators on the 5-on-3 power play missed the net. It is simply unacceptable by this Predators team. That's going to do it for the analysis portion of things because I don't have anything any nicer to say than I've already said. Pretty damn poor performance by the Nashville Predators team on home ice. And unfortunately, I'm going to criticize the organization. I'm going to criticize the game operations. I'm going to criticize just about everything else before we get out of here. But before we get to that, let's take a break with Stripe Digital. Let's get to the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score. And then I'll talk to you about the rest of the putrid experience for Game 3.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
When it comes to the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score, let's first talk about the visiting Vancouver Canucks, and let's make it quick. Boeser gets the game-winning goal with the redirect in front. JT Miller also had a power play goal in this game. Assists Miller, Pettersson, and 2 to Quinn Hughes, who leads the Vancouver Canucks in scoring. Now it seems like he touches the puck and initiates every offensive play that the Vancouver Canucks have. Shots on goal. JT Miller had 6, which was exactly half of the team's 12. So JT Miller was a dominant performer in this game when it comes to blocked shots. 5 for Ian Cole, 3 for Tyler Myers back in the lineup after missing the previous game. Joshua had 3 blocked shots. Bluger had 3 blocked shots. And you see the level of sacrifice from the Vancouver Canucks. It was the exact mirror of what the Nashville Predators did in Game 2 in Vancouver. When it comes to the physical component of things, plenty of big hits being thrown by the Vancouver Canucks. 4 for Zadorov, and every one of those should count as 2 with the size and the impact that he hits with, especially the one where he crushed Roman Josi. Roman Josi just ran himself right into that big hit. Susi had 4, 3 for Roenick, 3 for Miller, and also 3 for Di Giuseppe, and plenty of other players on the Vancouver Canucks had laid the wood to the Nashville Predators in this game. The Vancouver Canucks are certainly winning the physical battle overall through 3 games. Time on ice leaders for Vancouver, 1935 for Miller. Again, Miller was the all-encompassing great player for the Vancouver Canucks in this game. A goal, assist, 6 shots on goal, 3 hits, 1935 total time on ice. 1741 for Pettersson, 1736 for Boeser, 2158 for Myers back in the lineup again after missing the previous game with illness, 2046 for Zadorov. So Quinn Hughes didn't even have to overdo it in total time on ice for this Vancouver Canucks team. DeSmith, 29 out of 30, gave up 1 goal against. It came late in the game game, 4 power play saves. That's it, just 4 power play saves, including the 5-on-3 and the other power plays for the Nashville Predators team. Flipping over to the other side of the box score, the Nashville Predators' only goal of the game was by Luke Evangelista. The only assists of the game were by Zucker and Carrier. Shots on goal, the Nashville Predators, Evangelista had 4, Forsberg had 4, O'Reilly had 4. It was Yossi with 3. It was Shen with 3. Blocked shots, McDonough had 3. Yossi had 3. And since the Vancouver Canucks didn't even have that many shot attempts, really, the Nashville Predators blocked shots trickle down to 1, and they're very sporadic throughout the box score the rest of the way. When it comes to hits, Sherwood was out there being incredibly aggressive, working very hard and being very physical. He led the team with 9 hits in this game. Forsberg had 4. Luzon had 3. Time on ice leaders. And this is what I meant earlier when I said the Nashville Predators were over-reliant on the top line and tried to force it to make it happen. 25-37 for O'Reilly. 25-02 for Philip Forsberg. 23-14 for Nyquist. Not a single point amongst the trio. The top line for the Nashville Predators absolutely stifled, and you can count Roman Josi in that as well with his 31 in total time on ice for a game that did not go to overtime. Roman Josi played more than half of the game, and Roman Josi struggled to be noticeable when it comes to the offensive side of things. The Vancouver Canucks are simply shutting down the top players for this Nashville Predators team. 24-59 for Ryan McDonough, second on the team in total defense minutes, and some of that was skewed because of Stastny only playing 6:36 before leaving injured, but you also had Shannon only 13:55. You had Luzon at only 15:41, so the minutes could have been distributed a little bit differently and better than that, but Andrew Burnett obviously feeling he needed to press his top players to get out there and get the job done. When it comes to the power play, we've talked about it a couple times already, 0 for 5 plus the 5-on-3. It was only 21 seconds. The Predators still had 4 shot opportunities in 21 seconds. They were getting a shot opportunity every 5 seconds during that 5-on-3. Only one of them went on net. The other 3 missed. So the Preds power play absolutely fails in this game. Ineffective minutes by Evangelista at 5:43, 5:28 for Forsberg, 5:28 for Nyquist, 5:26 for O'Reilly, 6:26 for the captain Roman Josi, and nothing to show for it. Preds penalty kill, 1 for 3, giving up 2 power play goals against. The culprits out there on the ice during the shorthanded time on ice, it was Ryan O'Reilly at 129. Ryan O'Reilly ultimately had a pretty bad game here. 125 for Sissons, 114 for Jankowski, 216 for Jeremy Luzon in shorthanded time on ice. When it comes to the goaltender, UC Saros, 10 out of 12, 2 goals against, an in-game save percentage of .833, 8 even strength saves, 2 power play saves. No shorthanded saves. Just overall, not a great box score. Preds 0 for 5 on the power play, 1 for 3 on the PK. One of the few bright spots in this game, 63.3% from the face-off dot. Their winning percentage, only 11 block shots since game. 32 hits was good, but not nearly doing the damage that they hoped it would be doing in slowing Quinn Hughes down to a 2 assists this game. Block shots, only 11. Giveaways, 9. Takeaways, 5. All right, that's going to do it for the box score. I'm not going to spend much more time on this analysis, but I do want to mention here as we're closing out a missed opportunity for the Predators coming home for Game 3 and a fairly somewhat upset fan base is the way to say it. Lot of time reading online over the last couple of hours before coming out to record this show, just doing my due diligence. And typically I don't allow the peripheral stuff to enter into what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring you the game presentation, facts, opinions, analysis, that stuff. We're trying to stick to the hockey portion of things, but we do comment on peripheral things, and sometimes they percolate to a point where we really need to comment on it. And I saw more discourse about disappointed Predators fans, about the parking situation, about the plaza situation, the national anthem being a snore, no towel-waving celebrity out there on the rink, no hype, no hoopla, no pizzazz, no entrance song that they'd been using for many years. Listen, changing up the entrance song is one thing, but it appeared to piss off an awful lot of the hardcore fans that have been coming to the games for years, and just the game operations in general, the lack of awareness in playing the Vancouver Canucks goal song during a TV timeout. If someone in your game operations office did not know what the Vancouver Canucks goal song was, someone should have informed them of that, and perhaps they're not experienced enough to be in that position at this time of year if they don't know something as simple as that. That is an easy detail to not play. It would be the same as playing the Blackhawks goal song at Bridgestone Arena. It's the one we all recognize and the one, frankly, everyone in the NHL hates except for Chicago Blackhawks fans. So just a moment in inattention to detail and just some of the other things going on around the game ops. I feel it's lacking a little bit. I know that in the past they had some real wizards at game ops position who really understood the flow of the game and the crowd and how to make things go and work in that arena, and maybe it's not quite that level any longer. But I felt that last night, Game 3, what should have been one of the most exciting games in quite some time at Bridgestone Arena, frankly just felt more like elevated regular season Saturday night. Fix some things for Game 4. Everything needs a little fix for Game 4. From the way the game was presented, the pregame ceremony, the national anthem is bring Dennis K. Morgan back. Just do it. All that stuff is so peripheral, but yet it has an impact at the end of the day. And it had an impact, and clearly in the day later, in the after-action review and follow-up processes of all of this, the Predators fan base in general was sour about last night's game presentation, and they didn't seem to appreciate what was put on in front of them last night. Not by the players, not by the coaching staff, not by the officiating crew, not by the game operations crew. So a lot of room to grow for Game 4. The only thing you can hope is that the Nashville Predators bounce back from this, come out and put up a much stronger, better, more consistent effort from the start of this game, and that perhaps Michael McCarron remembers the situation the next time he decides to motivate the opponent to sacrifice their bodies to the level he did to the Vancouver Canucks. That's going to do it for, what are we on, operation number 908. We will be back in the bunker immediately after Game 4, recapping it with our instant recap and analysis, and then we'll have a full episode 909 out, recapping everything and previewing Game 5, which will be late Tuesday night back in Vancouver. All right, that's going to do it. Time to get out of the bunker, time to go enjoy the weather a little bit, and then we'll get on back to Bridgestone Arena on Sunday in the middle of the afternoon. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend here in the Middle Tennessee and Nashville area, so hope to see everybody out there at Game 4. That's going to do it for operation number 908. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.